Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing a homemaking video. You guys always love when I share these videos, kind of where I pack everything all into one. So of course you're going to get lots of cleaning motivation, but I'm also going to be sharing several healthy recipes and meal prep and food prep and all of that motivation. The recipes I'm going to share with you guys today are so super delicious. I can't wait to share this with you guys, but without further ado, let's do this. So today I'm starting out in my living room because I'm mostly going to be focusing on our living room and kitchen, but a majority of the work that I'm going to be doing is in the kitchen, either cooking or cleaning in there. And so I just want to tackle the living room first. And that way I wouldn't have to go back into the living room once I finish up with everything in the kitchen, and I can just cross that off my list. Once the living room was all clean, I moved into the kitchen, and as you can see, it's quite a mess. The kitchen is definitely something that, at least in my house, I feel needs pretty constant attention, or it really falls apart pretty quickly. So the first thing that I like to do in the kitchen is just clear all the countertops off, and I feel like that makes the biggest impact and just really motivates me to keep going in there. This is what happens when you don't get around to cooking your things and they just start growing new things. I think these little sweet potatoes are past their prime. If you've been following me for a while and you've watched several of my videos, you might remember me talking about this in a few other videos, but basically what we do for our kids' PJs is we just get PJ bottoms. I tend to get them secondhand just because you can find them for a really good deal that way. And then for tops, I actually just use these white shirts, but because we do have 3 boys and they're pretty close in age, I end up writing their names on the top of the white shirt, and that way it just gets easier. If their laundry gets mixed up, I know exactly whose tops they are. But it's honestly made nighttime so much easier for our family because they're not trying to find matching sets, but they can still have the fun and excitingness of the different pajama pants, but then on the top they just have a plain white shirt. A bitter truth to face, not that innocent. We know what we did. I'm a sucker for your love. Even though it's kind of toxic, babe. You know I feel it when we touch. That your love is from a different place. It's toxic, babe. Oh, it's toxic, babe. Yeah, yeah. It's toxic, babe. Once I got the dishwasher completely loaded, I started washing the rest of the dishes by hand, either ones that I don't tend to wash in the dishwasher or ones that just wouldn't fit on this day. I will kind of be doing dishes on and off throughout this day just because I am going to be cooking several recipes and I will be meal prepping and food prepping as well. But as you saw, I had so many dishes to start with, so I really wanted to make sure that I had a totally clean slate before getting going with cooking. And I did want to let you guys know there will be a huge giveaway going on in this video. I'll mention that a little bit later on when I start cooking. But you guys will not want to miss out on this one. It is like one of the best giveaways I think I've ever done. So I cannot wait to share that with you guys. Once all the dishes are done, my sink was all clean, I just started wiping down the countertop. And to make wiping down the counters really quick and easy, I'm just using my e-cloth general purpose cloth with just water. Alright, I have everything in like the main living area all cleaned. Every time I do like meal prep or food prep, or I'm just cooking a bunch of stuff, I usually like to keep at least the kitchen really clean, just so I'm starting with a really clean space and everything's nice and sanitary. But now that everything is nice and tidy, I am going to just pull everything out of the fridge. I'll probably even make a list just so I don't forget like what I had planned to do. And that way, while I have everything out, I can just make sure to knock everything off the list. And then once I have everything pulled out, then we'll get to prepping and cooking. So before we get going with all of the cooking, I just wanted to show you guys my brand new pots and pans. I am so beyond excited about these. They have been so incredible to cook with. I've been able to use them for the last few weeks and they have just blown me away every single time I use them. And I'm actually teaming up with Farberware on today's video and I just am so excited to share these products with you guys. It's so exciting for me to be actually teaming up with Farberware because growing up, I remember cooking with my mom and she just had all kinds of Farberware products. They have been around for so long. Farberware is celebrating their 120th year anniversary, and I feel like they are just such a staple in the kitchen. And something that I really love about Farberware is they have all different types of cookware and bakeware, kind of like whatever style you're looking for. They definitely have you covered. They have stainless steel pots and pans, they have non-stick, they have these copper ceramic ones that I am obsessed with. They just have so many different varieties and options, and I love that they stand behind their products. So while I'm cooking today, you'll get to see kind of how they work, and definitely pay attention because Farberware is going to be giving away 3 full ceramic sets just like the set that I'm showing you right now. So you will have 3 different chances to win one of these sets. I am so excited. I feel like you can just hear it in my voice. I've been waiting to share this with you guys, and I am so excited that I'm finally able to do that today. So all you have to do to enter is, of course, be subscribed to my YouTube channel because this is a subscriber giveaway, and then head over to Instagram and follow Farberware and leave them a comment letting them know this crazy life sent you, and I will have their Instagram link down below for you guys. And then leave a comment here on this video letting me know if you've used Farberware products in the past and if you have any memories of using Farberware with your family. So I will have all the information on how to enter down below in the description box. So make sure that you get entered because, like I said, we are giving away 3 full sets, and I know that you guys are going to love them too. And also, if you're interested in purchasing either this set or any of the other items on their website, I will have a coupon code and link down below for you guys, so definitely check that out as well. So depending on how quickly I get all this done, I may end up sharing one additional recipe once I'm kind of all done with everything, but the 3 that I for sure am going to share is wonton tacos. This is like a family favorite. My boys love this. Kyle loves it. Another one that I'm going to share is, it's like a P.F. Chang's copycat recipe. I actually have never actually gone to P.F. Chang's, but I found this online years and years ago, and it's just one of my very favorite and like one of my family's very favorite little recipes. So I'm going to share that one, and then I'm also going to share how to make really easy, super easy fried rice. So I have all of my ingredients set out here, and now I just have to start prepping and cooking. So the first recipe that I'm going to be sharing with you guys today is the P.F. Chang's lettuce wrap copycat recipe. Now I'm actually going to be making a double recipe of this because I'm going to use this more as a meal prep so that I can just heat it up throughout the week and have it for lunches. And all of the recipes that I'm going to be sharing today, I will share over on my blog so that you can save them or pin them that way as well. So the first thing that you're going to do for this recipe is just chop your onion up. It's already over. Too late to talk and fix whatever's broken. And then you're also going to prep out your ginger. And a few tricks for ginger are to actually put it in your freezer, and it will grate so much easier. And then you can also use the back of a spoon to peel it, and it works so well, and there's just so little waste this way. Once you have all that prepped out, you're going to add your onions into your pan. So here I'm just using my Farberware hard anodized ceramic cookware. And one thing I really love about this cookware is it cuts down on so much of the oil that you usually have to use. It is so non-stick. And I've actually had a few other ceramic pieces in my kitchen that I absolutely love. So as soon as I saw that Farberware had the ceramic cookware set, I was like, yes, this is the one I wanted. I knew immediately, and it has not disappointed. I've just been more and more impressed with it the longer I cook with it. So as you can see, I haven't had to add any oil or anything like that when I'm cooking my onions or anything, and they are not sticking in the slightest. And then once all of your onions are starting to soften up a little bit, you can add in your ground chicken. And again, keep in mind I am doubling this recipe, so here I'm just using 2 pounds of ground chicken. When did the magic stop for us? Oh, then once your chicken is almost done cooking, you can add in your ginger and also your garlic, and then stir that around and let that cook for a few more minutes. And while that's just continuing to cook, you're going to make a quick sauce. So all you're going to do for the sauce is add in some soy sauce. I am just using a soy sauce alternative here. And then next you're going to add in your rice vinegar, sesame oil, peanut butter, water, honey, and chili sauce. I am just using the sweet chili sauce, but they have different varieties. You can kind of choose whatever kind of flavor you like. And then you're just going to pop that into the microwave for about 20 seconds or so. And then when it's done, just go ahead and stir it until it's pretty well mixed. I wanna hear you say that you only want me. That you only want me. At this point, the chicken will be completely cooked and you can just add your sauce right into it and then just make sure to give that a really good mix.
And with that bedhead, you give me falling twice. Yeah, you're an angel and always on my mind.
And then once your sauce is all mixed in, you're going to chop up 2 to 3 green onions. And then you'll also chop up some water chestnuts and add both of those right into the pan and just stir to combine. That is all you have to do for this recipe. It is so delicious. You can serve this a bunch of different ways. You can put it over rice. You can serve it as I'm doing here in a lettuce wrap. You can just eat it as is. Honestly, it's so delicious and it reheats really, really well. So I feel like this is such a perfect recipe to meal prep. So you can just make it really quickly one day and then have it throughout the week. And it is just so, so good.
Let's drive into the sunrise. Where your heart is where I wanna lie.
Now, because I'm going to be sharing multiple recipes today and doing lots of meal prep and food prep, I'm going to kind of try to clean a little bit as I go. And I wanted to show you this really quick. As you can see, I'm using no soap. I'm obviously going to wash this for real in a few minutes, but I just wanted to show you guys how amazingly easy this cookware cleans up. I typically just have to spray it off and it's almost totally clean. And then I just go ahead and quickly wash it off. But it is so nice. I feel like I'm never really having to scrub the Farberware ceramic cookware. It is just incredible. And like I said, Farberware does have a ton of different style cookware. So they have the ceramic ones like I'm using today, and then they also have stainless steel ones. They have tons of non-stick ones. They just have kind of whatever style cookware you are interested in. They definitely will have you covered. So I will leave a link to their website in the description box below for you guys, so you can check that out. And like I had mentioned earlier, I will also leave the coupon code down below for you guys so you can save a little bit of extra money. Next, I'm going to be making my wonton tacos. These are such a hit in my house. Everybody loves them. They are so good. And I love them because they are so incredibly quick and easy to make. So all you're going to do is just cook your taco meat as you normally do. I like to add in ground beef or ground turkey, and I just cook that until everything's nice and brown. And then I'm going to add in a can of drained and rinsed black beans, along with taco seasoning, and also about half a cup to 1 cup of salsa. Whatever kind you like is great, but the salsa is definitely my biggest trick in making it super extra flavorful and also really moist. And it's awesome because it's going to give all of the flavors of the peppers and onions and tomatoes in the salsa, but you don't have to really do any of the work. So if you have not tried adding salsa to your taco meat, definitely try it out next time. It is so good. And another thing I really like to do that I mentioned is just adding the black beans. And the reason for this is mostly just to stretch the meat, because beans are obviously a lot cheaper than meat and you get a little bit of those extra nutrients in the beans. And so it just helps stretch that a little bit further. So once your taco meat is all done cooking, you will just take a muffin pan, and I'm just using the Farberware Rose Gold non-stick muffin pan. I love this. I think it's so pretty. Your cookware doesn't have to be pretty, but it's just a little extra fun if it is. And you're going to take your wonton wrappers and just lay them across the muffin tins, and then just use your fingers to kind of press them into the molds. And then once your wonton wrappers are all pushed in, you're just going to add in your taco meat straight into the little wrappers, and then pop it into a 400-degree oven for about 10 minutes or so until the wonton wrappers are nice and brown.
I don't care about you and him. I don't care about what has been. I only care about your soft skin. 'Cause we're still sleeping in my head. I don't care about you and him. I don't care about what has been. I only care about your soft skin. 'Cause we're still sleeping in my head. There's a new part of me, a part I want you to see. You haven't seen the best of me, I know. You can try to fool yourself, like you love somebody else. But you and him will never feel.
The next thing I do is as soon as the wonton tacos come out of the oven, I immediately will put cheese on them. This is completely optional, and all of the toppings that you add onto it are of course completely optional. But if you do add cheese, I would recommend doing it right at first, right when it's really hot, because it will just melt the cheese and it will be so good.
What we lost. Tonight is the night that we're gonna fall in love. I don't care about you and him. I don't care about what has been. I only care about your soft skin. 'Cause we're still sleeping in my head. I don't care about you and him. I don't care about what has been. I only care about your soft skin. 'Cause we're still sleeping in my head.
You guys will have to let me know what your favorite toppings are for tacos. Any toppings that you can put on tacos, you can completely put on the wonton tacos. And I love what great finger foods these are. These would honestly be a great party snack too, but we have this for dinner all the time. Okay, so the next recipe that I'm going to be sharing with you guys is just fried rice. This is again such an easy recipe. I make this quite a bit for my family, and I feel like most of the time I just kind of eyeball it, but usually I will put in about 2 eggs into a frying pan. You can use butter if you need, but like I said, in these pans, I found you just don't really need to use a whole lot of fat. And then I'm just using a bag of frozen veggies. I've just found this is so incredibly easy. There's no chopping, there's no prepping or anything. All you have to do is just heat them up somehow. So either microwave them or saute them in another pan. I'm just choosing the quick route today and just microwaving them. And then once you have your veggies all heated up, I just like to drain them and just make sure there's no extra water on them. And then I just add them straight into the pan with the eggs. And a quick tip for this is totally optional, but I love adding garlic, and especially I love adding a little bit of minced ginger. It's so good. It just adds a little bit of a subtle flavor, but it just really kicks this dish up a notch. So I would definitely recommend adding ginger if that's a flavor that you typically like. And then I will add about 2 tablespoons or so of soy sauce. And then once you do that, you can go ahead and add in your rice. Now you can make this all in one day, but typically I like to make the rice the day before, and that way I can just let it sit in the fridge and it tends to work out a little bit better. It gets a little bit drier and just kind of fries up nicely. And then once you have your rice added in, you can just add whatever kind of sauces you want. You can either add additional soy sauce. I really love adding in some teriyaki sauce. And again, this is totally customizable, so you can add more or less sauce just depending on what you want. So this is great to meal prep, and you can just make it one day of the week and then have it for the rest of the week for lunches or to add into dinners, just whatever you want. This is so incredibly delicious. It's like one of my kids' favorites, and it goes with so many different things, and it's good on its own. Even like you can just add in some chicken if you want some extra protein in there or something, but this is so good.
I've been trying hard to keep my cool, but when you're near, there's nothing that I can do. When you're walking in, I know it's true. It doesn't even matter how hard I try, 'cause when I hear your voice, my walls come down. Boy, you are the only thing I want.
So I am still going to be sharing one additional recipe with you guys. It's such a yummy dessert recipe, but because I had a sink full of dishes and I was almost done with all the cooking, I just wanted to get the bulk of the dishes all done. And my dishwasher was actually still running at this time, and so I just wanted to hand wash everything. Plus, I know a lot of you guys don't have a dishwasher, so I love giving you guys hand washing motivation as well. So here I'm just filling up the sink about halfway with soapy water. One thing that worked out really well this time that you'll kind of see in just a minute is I had this cutting board sitting in my sink, and because it's a wood cutting board, it was floating, and so it worked out perfectly. Once I had washed the dishes, I could just set the washed clean dishes on the cutting board, and then I was able to rinse all of them all at once, and it just worked super well. So if you're like me and have a single basin sink and kind of struggle with hand washing and rinsing everything, this is something that just worked out so well. It was kind of like one of those happy accidents.
Like a fool. There must be a way I can make you see that if we fell in love, we will be so sweet. But when it's you and me, nobody can bring us down, bring us down. I wanna
long time. Can't you see I wanted it to be us now? Darling, if you knew how this would turn out, we let the stars shine bright. Yeah, I've been waiting too long for ya. I don't wanna love ya if you don't love me back. Baby, please don't wanna waste my time on you. 'Cause I don't wanna love ya if you don't love me back, baby, back, baby, back, baby, back, baby, back. Yeah, I've been waiting too long for ya. Oh, I don't wanna love ya if you don't love me back, love me back, baby.
Once I had all the dishes cleaned, I just cleaned my sink really quick. Again, I usually like to clean my sink anytime I have dirty dishes sitting in there, and since they have been sitting in there a while, I just want to do a quick wipe down. Plus, I don't know about you guys, but a clean sink just makes me so happy. It's just like one of those little things that I enjoy a little bit too much probably, and I feel like it just makes the whole kitchen feel so much cleaner. So I definitely don't mind having to clean it a few times a day if needed.
'Cause I feel alone in a room, surrounded by people. I wanna know if you're feeling it too. Out on the roof, here with you, it all seems so distant.
Next, I just wanted to get into some of the actual food prep. So I just like to prep out some of our fruits and veggies so that they're really easy to start cooking for dinners during the week or just for snacking. So the first thing that I'm going to be prepping out is just our asparagus. So I'm just kind of snapping them all at their weak point, and then I'll put them in our colander and just give them a little rinse and let them dry on a paper towel.
On my days now, you just my maker. Believer, I don't make this. You look so pretty in the sunrise, and somehow now everything is alright. I feel like every word.
Next, I'm just prepping out some celery. So I am just chopping this up and giving it a quick wash. And then I'm actually adding it into a mason jar, which I'll then fill with water. And I found this makes your celery stay so nice and crisp throughout the week.
But the buzz in the room, surrounded by people. I couldn't care, yeah, but nobody but you. Sway, move me now, baby, dance, give into the moment. With you.
I feel like grapes maybe don't need to be prepped out because they're pretty easy to grab. You can just pull them off the vine, wash them off and go. But I've just found that when I don't prep them out, our kids will not just grab them all the time. And so in order to help avoid food waste and just kind of encourage that healthy eating, I just like to pull them all off the vines, rinse them, and then stick them into one of our containers.
Believer, I don't make this. You look so pretty in the sunrise, and somehow now everything is alright. Everything is alright with you. Under street lights, right next to the skyline. With you. Yeah, you. I've been listening to so many of my days now. You just my maker. Believer, I don't make this. You look so pretty in the sunrise, and somehow now everything is alright. Everything is alright.
So the very last recipe that I'm going to be sharing with you guys today is one of my favorites. It's just a blueberry grunt, and if you have never had a blueberry grunt, it's basically like a cobbler. So all you're going to do is add 4 cups of frozen blueberries. You can use fresh if you want, but I've just found typically frozen are easier to keep. So I just add in 4 cups of frozen blueberries, and then you're going to add in about half a cup of sugar, half a cup of water, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, and then half a teaspoon of cinnamon and half a teaspoon of nutmeg. And then you're just gonna cook that down on the stove for about 10 minutes or so until the blueberries start to kind of break down a little bit.
Inside your love, this time I'ma win it. This time I'ma win it. What's my luck? I wanna get in.
Next, while your blueberry mixture is cooking, you're just going to make your little drop biscuits. And all you have to do is in a bowl, add 2 cups of flour. Here I'm just using a gluten-free flour mix that I have, but you can totally use all-purpose flour, just whatever you have or whatever you need. And then you're going to add in about 4 teaspoons of baking powder, half a teaspoon of salt, and then 3 tablespoons of butter. Here I'm using a dairy-free butter. And then you're just going to mix that up with a fork or a pastry cutter just to kind of cut that butter down and make sure it's all nice and mixed well. And then once you've done that, you'll just add in about 1 cup of milk. Here I'm just using unsweetened almond milk, and then you just stir to combine. And this is just going to be a wet dough. You're not going to want it to be super dry and crumbly.
Hey boy, do you see me? Hey boy, do you see me over here? Like what you're getting? You can't get enough, can't get enough. This time I'ma win it. This time I'ma win it. What's my luck? I wanna get in. Inside your love, inside your love.
And then once your blueberries are all done cooking, you're going to add them into a non-stick baking dish. And then on top of that, you're going to just take some spoonfuls of the dough and just drop them right onto the top of your blueberries. And it does not have to look perfect. It's kind of like more of a rustic dish, but it's so good. And once you've used up all of your dough mixture, you can put your blueberry grunt in the oven at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes or so. And that's all there is to it. You can serve this warm, you can put it in your fridge and eat it cold, you can serve it with ice cream. Honestly, I don't think there's any wrong way to enjoy this dessert. It is so delicious. And if you make it the way that I did with the gluten-free flour and dairy-free butter and milk, this is completely gluten and dairy-free and you would not ever even know. Finally, I'm on to my very last dishes, so I'm just going to wash them up. And again, I just want to point out how well these pots and pans wash up. They just clean so incredibly easy. These pots and pans are really great whether you're trying to eat healthier and trying to avoid using extra oils, or if you just want to make life a little bit easier and not have everything stick to things, but you want kind of a healthier alternative to that. You guys have to check out the hard anodized ceramic cookware set. Farberware has seriously nailed this one. I just cannot rave enough about these. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it gave you tons of cleaning motivation, and I hope it gave you some fun ideas on some new recipes to try. If you do try out the recipes, definitely head over to Instagram and tag me over there so I can see what you guys are trying, what you guys are liking. Or if you don't have an Instagram account, just come back here and let me know in the comments. I just love hearing what you guys think when you try the recipes that I've shared with you guys. And do not forget to enter that giveaway I had mentioned earlier. Like I said, there are going to be 3 different winners, so there are multiple chances to win one of those ceramic Farberware sets. You guys do not want to miss out on this. And like I said, also, I will have that link down in the description box for you guys if you want to check them out online. I hope you guys have the most amazing day. Do not forget to subscribe down below if you are not already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.